Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will change the way you see spiritual warfare forever. Most Christians have heard Genesis 6, but almost no one talks about it. It's one of those passages people skip quickly because it feels strange. It says, "The sons of God saw the daughters of men," and something happened that corrupted the earth. But the book of Enoch gives the full story. It says these sons of God were watchers. Angelic beings assigned to observe humanity, but they rebelled, they descended, and they crossed a boundary God never permitted. Enoch describes a divine courtroom moment. The watchers are brought before God, and the sentence is announced. They will be bound, cast into darkness, imprisoned until the final judgment. That sounds like the end of the story. But then Enoch hints at something terrifying. Not all were treated the same. Some were chained, others weren't mentioned. And that raises the question, why? Imagine being Enoch, watching angels, beings of unimaginable power, being dragged into judgment. Imagine hearing them beg, knowing they cannot undo what they did. Enoch says they cried out because they realized they were finished. But then he saw something else, something unfinished. What if some watchers escaped full imprisonment? What if the sentence wasn't uniform? And what if their influence never truly left the earth? Stay with me, because the Bible itself hints at this. Peter writes something shocking. God did not spare the angels who sinned, but cast them into chains of darkness. That confirms Enoch. Jude says the same. Angels who did not stay in their proper domain are kept in eternal bonds. So yes, some watchers were imprisoned. But notice something. The Bible never says all evil spiritual beings were locked away. Only the ones who sinned in a specific way. Meaning, others remained active. Enoch goes further. He says the giants, the Nephilim, were destroyed in the flood, but their spirits remained, restless, unclean, wandering. And this is where the story becomes deeply uncomfortable, because these spirits become what Scripture later calls demons. So even if some watchers were chained, their offspring's influence did not disappear. Think about that for a moment. The flood cleansed the earth physically, but the spiritual aftermath remained. And that explains why evil didn't end after Noah. It shifted. It hid. It adapted. And here's why this matters today. Because the same pattern repeats. Rebellion, corruption, judgment, and then a return. Jesus himself said, "As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be again." Why would he say that? Unless the same spiritual atmosphere returns before the end. Now let me be clear. This isn't about fantasy. This isn't about obsessing over darkness. This is about understanding Scripture. The Bible teaches spiritual warfare is real, that unseen forces influence cultures, that deception operates beneath the surface. And the Watcher's story is a warning. When beings reject God's order, the earth suffers. Enoch says the Watchers await final judgment, but the world continues under tension, because not everything has been resolved yet. Some are bound, some still roam, And the final day is coming, when everything hidden will be exposed. That's why Revelation speaks of a final imprisonment, a final fire, a final cleansing. The watchers were sentenced. But the story is not over. And here's the hope. Nothing is out of God's control. The watchers rebelled, but they did not win. They were judged, they were limited, and their final end is already written. The real message isn't fear. It's awakening. It's discernment. It's knowing the battle is real. But God is greater. So let me ask you, do you think we are living in a generation that resembles the days of Noah again? Write in the comments, I'm awake. And if you want the next video, where we uncover the forbidden knowledge the Watchers taught humanity, and why it still echoes today, subscribe now. Because the truth is hidden, but it will be unveiled. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next revelation.